Hi everybody, today we're going to look at something really cool. At least this is really cool to me. This is a Greenlight 1/24th scale 1968 Ford Mustang GT Fastback. The color here is Highland Green. Why is this car special to me? Because you guys know I am not a Mustang fan, even though I've had several of them. I'm a Camaro guy. Camaro. Well, because I used to own one of these. It's a very long, very sad story, but I will keep it short. My friend Tony used to be a car dealer. I did jobs for him. We do all kind of stuff together. He actually worked for me one day. And then there's a story behind that too, when I used to have my company. But anyways, for all the jobs I did for him, instead of him paying me, he had two Ford Mustangs. He had I don't remember if it was a 67 or a 68 Ford Mustang with a 302 in it that was built and blueprinted. You car people will know what I'm talking about. That one was blue. In addition to that, he had one of these, a 1968 Mustang GT Fastback. The other one wasn't a Fastback, and I really wasn't a fan of the Fastbacks, but I was a fan of the motor that was in this. It had a 428 Cobra jet in it. The only thing was that Cobra jet hadn't been run in a long time, and we had a slight fear that the engine was seized. Not seized because it seized up on it for lack of oil, but just from time. And if that's the case, that's not a problem. You can fix that. At least I can. So anyways, he had the two Mustangs. He says, look, for all the work you've done, you helped me out a lot. You can pick one of them. The blue one with the 302, well, that was operational. I could have jumped in it right there and drove away. But then there was the Cobra jet. The color was red, and it wasn't like a candy apple red. It was a darker red. I would actually have to go back and look and see what Ford had for colors then to see if it was an original color. Naturally, this is the car that I selected. I'm going to go with a 68 Mustang Fastback, even though I'm not a Fastback fan, because like I said, I wanted that 428 Cobra jet. To make a long story short, we left the car in his shop. He was working a job for me one day. He fell ill. He was working a job for me on a construction site one morning, which was really the first time he ever did a job for me, because I normally did jobs for him. And he fell ill and died of a stroke 3 days later. And in addition to losing my friend, I lost my car because it was in his shop. It was all locked up. And regardless of the paperwork I had, his wife didn't honor the deal we had. So yeah, that's the sad story of how I owned one of these for approximately 3 months. The moral of the story is, when somebody gives you something, or if you buy something, get it out of there quick. Alright, so that is my 1968 Ford Mustang GT Fastback story. I've owned 3 Mustangs, maybe 4. No, I think 3 Mustangs over the years. The last one I had was a 95 Mustang GT Street Racer with a weird paint job and chrome side pipes. Side pipes were cool. It was a horrible interior. It was that red leather interior. But it really doesn't matter because, as I already stated, I'm a Camaro guy. So that should explain why a Camaro guy paid $41.65 for this car. I've always thought the Fastbacks looked a little lame compared to the standard Mustang. But you know, over the years, that body style has grown on me. Will I ever buy another Mustang? Probably not, or hopefully not. At least not a full-size one. A metal die-cast collectible car like this? Well, yeah, I bought a couple of these. Alright, what do you think? Cool car or not cool car? And then the other question is, what do you think? In real life, is it a cool car or not a cool car? Leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.